What's up, craft kids? Today I'm just going to show you a little method for shadowing letters. Some might call it letter shadowing, but we're going to keep it nice and simple today. We're going to base it off of block lettering. There's all sorts of different types of letter shadowing that you can do. We're going to use block lettering and a couple different methods on how to shade or shadow those letters. So follow along. Okay, the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to write the word craft. And then I'm going to thicken it up a little bit to make it look a little bit more like block lettering. Okay, next what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a black Posca to apply a shadowing technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that the light is coming from the top left and the top left only. Each individual segment of these letters is we're going to have to think. We're going to have to decide, where do we put the dark line? If the light's coming from the top left, we put a shadow under and to the right. Okay, let me show you. The straight parts are fairly straightforward. So every part of the letter that's to the right gets a straight line, gets a shadow line. Okay, and again, if we just do all the straight parts first, it's pretty manageable, right? Everything under, under, and so on and so forth, okay? This little part here is under. Okay. Now, we can look at everything to the right as well and do those straight parts. So that piece, this piece, this straight part of the F, this straight part, okay? This piece here. So far, so good. Now we're doing the A. We need to do this whole long piece of the A because the whole thing is to the right, okay? Then we do this inside segment of the letter A. It's also on the right-hand side. We do that. Where it gets tricky, oh, and we have one more piece here on the F that we have to do right here. But where it gets tricky is when we're doing the curved letters, okay? Because the underside of this part of the C starts to curve, and then it becomes the right-hand part of the C, which we still want to shade. Then as it curves down even further, it starts to become the top of the bottom part of the C. So then we're going to need to switch our shadowing to the outside. This can be the trickiest part. So here's what it looks like. And you want to go until it starts just about to curve in the opposite direction. And if you can, you want to kind of try to, it's a little tough with these medium Poscas, but you want to try to blend it in, make the line skinnier and skinnier. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll pick up that shadow on this side. And since that's under, we'll carry the shadow down there, okay? Now, when we're doing this part of the R that I already put a shadow on, this little part is under. So we do need to give that part a shadow. This part, as it curves down, starts to become the left, where the light would be able to get to. So here's where we need to put our shadow line on the right-hand side. But not all the way up, because if we right up in here is sort of the top of the letter, so we wouldn't be able to go all the way up. I'm gonna come close to going all the way up because as I tried to make the line skinnier, it didn't really work. So that's gonna pretty much go all the way up in there, which is fine. Light has trouble getting into small areas anyways, so that's fine. This is an under piece. And again, we want to pay attention to that curve. So as it starts to become the top, we want to avoid shading that. Okay, and then we do the under part of that R. And what we have now is a completed word, craft. You've got block lettering with a shadow effect to the bottom and to the right. Now I'm going to show you a different way to do it. All right, next I'm gonna write the word kids. And then it looks like what's happening is the Posca is running out. It's not being very cooperative. So I'm gonna have to get a little creative here. And I'm gonna use a different Posca, similar in color. So we're gonna get a sort of a different kind of look here. Okay, good enough. I've got the word kids written. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you another way to highlight or to shadow this. This time I'm gonna pretend that the light is coming from the bottom and from the right. So that means everything I shadow is going to be on the top and on the left. And this is how I do it most of the time. Don't know why, it's just how I do it. But there is no right or wrong way to do it. Just kind of do whatever way you feel. So I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of an opposite thing. This red's working real good, so I'm gonna keep going with it. And I'm going to do my shadowing effect with red. You don't always have to use black. Okay, so this is gonna be anything to the left and on the top. S's are definitely one of the harder letters to do. So I'll do a little fixing with the blue Posca, but that's definitely one of the hardest letters to do. It's the wrong color. Hopefully you get the idea on how to do that. And one last thing I want to show, which is how to highlight in a slightly different way. So I'm gonna write TV right here. Just the letters T and V. Now I'm going to show you how to highlight using, I'll do a cool hot pink color as long as it's working well. So now I'm going to show you how to highlight, or shadow rather, in a slightly different way. This is shadowing, giving it a little space in between. So we're going to do the exact same method, but we're going to use a little bit of space in between the letter and the shadowing. They're not going to be uptight against each other. All right, so we're once again gonna pretend that the light is coming from top left. Okay, so everything's gonna be on the right and under as far as the shadowing goes. It should be nice and easy with these letters because there's not a lot of curvature. All right, here we go. So again, leave some space. Cool. So that is yet another way to shadow. Just to recap, here are 3 different methods to use. This is shadowing. The top one, once again, is shadowing as if the light is coming in from the top left. The middle one is shadowing as if the light is coming in from the bottom right. And this last one is shadowing, leaving some space, the same way we did it on top, the same method. All right, everybody, shadowing techniques. So couple simple ones today, kept it pretty basic, just to show you a couple different ways, cool ways you can shadow your letters. Give them some dimension, make them have a 3D effect. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Bye.